Today's topic has nothing to do with hormones, food, or fitness. And yet, with this one hack, you are 2 to 3 times more likely to maintain long-term health habits. Let's clear something up right away. Most women don't fail because they don't know what to do. They fail because of how they talk to themselves when things get uncomfortable. Welcome back to Renewed and Radiant. I'm Elsa Martin, functional nutritionist specializing in women's hormones. And I've helped myself as well as hundreds and hundreds of women shed excess weight, balance their hormones, and love how they look and feel. This is part 2 in our love series for the month of February. Emotional self-love is what we're talking about today. Emotional self-love is not about being gentle all the time. It's about not emotionally abandoning yourself the moment you slip, stall, or struggle. Because self-sabotage is rarely about food or workouts. It's about how you respond emotionally to imperfection. Here's an important stat. Over 80% of behavior change failures are linked to emotional regulation, not a lack of knowledge. We already know what we should eat. More protein, that we should be moving our bodies, sleeping more. Yet, when stress hits, motivation drops, progress slows, the emotional response kicks in of, what's the point? I always mess this up. I'll start again Monday. And that's not laziness. That's an unmanaged emotional pattern. Emotional self-love means that you stop letting temporary emotions dictate your long-term decisions. Here's a stat that most women have never even heard. Shame increases the likelihood of binge eating and self-destructive behavior by up to 3 times. And shame sounds like things like, oh, I blew it, or I'm so bad at this, or what's wrong with you? You have no discipline. And here's the problem. Shame does not create change. It creates avoidance. Studies show that people who operate from self-criticism are less consistent, they're more reactive, and they're more likely to quit just after minor setbacks. Emotional self-love means replacing that shame with neutral accountability. Replacing, I'm such a failure, and instead, that didn't go as planned. What's my next best choice? No spiral, no punishment, no quitting. And here's where this gets very practical. People with higher emotional regulation skills are 2 to 3 times more likely to maintain long-term health habits. Why? Because they don't require motivation, perfect circumstances, or a good mood to act. They've learned how to feel discomfort without reacting to it. Let me tell you, this is something I have been working on for years. And we can learn how to experience stress and discomfort without self-destructing. We can keep commitments even when emotions fluctuate. Emotional self-love is saying, I can feel frustrated and still follow through. It's okay. And that skill alone separates women who succeed from women who restart every January or every month or every Monday. This doesn't just affect health and weight loss. You having emotional self-control affects literally every area of your life. Everything from your relationship with your spouse, to your relationship with your children and friends, even to your success in business and your finances. Emotional self-control is key. And I have been experiencing this transformation over the last few years and just how powerful it is. And I want to really encourage you in this. Because as women, we can tend to emotionally abandon ourselves. And that's not love. This is subtle but powerful. Emotional abandonment looks like things like skipping meals after a stressful day or overeating to numb instead of nourish ourselves, or quitting because progress feels slower than we want it to be, or waiting to feel better before recommitting. So here's the stat. Consistency drops by over 50% when goals are tied to emotional state instead of systems. If your plan only works when you feel good, it's not a plan, it's a gamble. Emotional self-love means building systems that carry you through low motivation days. This is the shift that I teach my clients. Instead of asking, how do I feel? Ask, what does my future self need right now? Self-leadership is emotionally mature love. It's about, I don't quit on myself. I don't punish myself. I don't negotiate with self-doubt. And here's the proof. People who identify as self-led, not self-motivated, show significantly higher follow-through and lower relapse rates. This is exactly why programs fail when they focus on food and workouts. The Belly Buster program, it includes structure that removes emotional decision fatigue. I give you clear guidelines so emotions don't run the show. Can I get an amen for that one? And a framework that keeps you moving forward even when life gets busy or messy. And for February, I'm giving a Valentine's bonus that goes deeper into breaking emotional eating loops, as well as handling stress without sabotaging your progress and creating consistency that doesn't rely on willpower so that you get the results you desire and they last for the rest of your life. Because this isn't about being perfect. It's about being emotionally steady. Emotional self-love is not indulgence. It's not excuses, and it's not softness. It's resilience. The data is clear. Shame fuels sabotage. Emotional regulation fuels consistency. Systems beat motivation every time. And when you stop turning discomfort into self-criticism, you stop quitting on yourself. And that changes everything. I hope you've enjoyed this part 2 on emotional love, part 2 of our 4-part series. Next week, I'm going to be talking about mental self-love, rewiring the inner dialogue that drives your results. And then episode number 4 is going to be all about spiritual self-love, because we are 4-part beings: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So again, please comment, what was your takeaway from today? And as always, like and share this episode if it spoke to you. And until next time, let's go design a life we love.